Kamala Harris cowers from interviews, pressers for 11th straight day since replacing Biden on ticket. That's because I told y'all she cannot have these like impromptu interviews or sit downs and talk off the cuff because it will show how terrible she is. It will show how incompetent and how stupid she really is. So of course she can't sit down and have an interview with someone that's unscripted or anything like that because it would expose her. So they have to hide her, just like they had to hide Biden to show so that we can't see that he lost his mental acuity. They have to hide Kamala Harris to show so she don't display her incompetence in her and her and how stupid she is. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. Also, check me out on X, where I post news throughout the day as well. All right, so let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from Breitbart. From Nick Gilbertson, and he reports that Vice President Kamala Harris became the presumptive Democrat presidential nominee 11 days ago, yet she has not engaged in a substantial interview nor a press conference since then. Election day is 95 days away, and early voting will begin much sooner. After Hollywood elites, top Democrats, and donors reportedly forced President Joe Biden out as the party's presumptive nominee, even though the mainstream media try to pretend like they didn't push out Joe Biden. Even on the talking head show The View, they said don't call them elites and stuff like that because like we don't know who really pushed out Biden. But he quickly endorsed Harris after stepping down from the race on July 21st. She subsequently received support from top Democrats and became the presumptive nominee on July 12th. Yet Harris has gone 12 days since Biden bowed out, and 11 days since securing enough delegates for the nomination without doing a robust interview or press conference, as Fox News' Brian Flood pointed out, allowing her to skirt key questions on major policy issues like the economy, inflation, immigration, national security, and more. That's because they can't talk about those things. You can't say how great the economy is because everyone knows how bad it is. You can't say that inflation is under control because we all know that inflation's out of control. She can't speak on immigration because the border is still wide open, and we can look at her record and know that she was the border czar and done nothing for it. National security, what has she done national security wise? I mean, so she can't speak to these issues, so they have to hide her. Instead, over the past week and a half, Harris has largely communicated with Americans through speeches and addresses where she can focus on the issues she wants to talk about, like abortion, without the threat of fielding any questions on policy where she is inherently tied to Biden's historically bad legacy. She has, however, had minor engagements with reporters on the trail, according to Fox News. During the 2020 campaign, Biden caught heat for campaigning from what former President Donald Trump called Biden's basement. Y'all know I was on that. That's why I used to say hiding Biden. Quote, "We have a sleepy guy in the basement of a house that the press is giving a free pass to, who doesn't want to do debates because of COVID," Trump famously said in April 2020. While some argue Biden's strategy, including running out the clock by giving press conferences and interviews only sparingly, it did not keep him from the White House, as one expert told Fox News Digital. Jeffrey McCall, a media studies professor at DePuy University, told Fox News that Harris's team is, quote, well aware that Biden dodged the media throughout his 2020 campaign and still got elected. Well, we know why he got elected. I can't really say here. But engaging in the media, regarded for hundreds of years as the fourth estate or fourth unofficial check in the balance of government power, would force Harris to defend her record. McCall said the Harris camp is also well aware that their candidate doesn't do well in unscripted settings. Not to mention that a presser or legitimate sit-down interview would necessarily require her to defend some of her positions, previous statements, and record. Thus, a rerun on the Biden's basement campaign sounds pretty good, as long as you throw in a couple of rallies with Megan Thee Stallion. Facts. This is why they do these things. This is why they have Meg Thee Stallion sitting up there shaking her butt at a rally instead of her sitting down talking to people, because she can't do it. This is why I've been alluding to this. I've been alluding to this for days now, about her not speaking in front of people and not engaging, because she comes off as inauthentic, and you can't hide that. He added it would benefit Harris from a rhetorical strategy standpoint to engage with the press. Quote, at some point, it would seem she'll have to attract moderates or undecided voters who want to see her take questions, he said. Eventually, she's going to have to open that mouth of hers. And eventually, she's going to have to talk, and people are going to see they're going to understand how far left she is, unless she lies about that. But we have we have the receipts, and we're gonna have to see how incompetent she is once she opens her mouth. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Do you think she's gonna start doing interviews anytime soon? Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.